Hey, welcome back. It's good to see you. This is Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com. Kind of your one-stop shop for everything dating and relationship advice. Today, we're going to talk about what you do when your guy won't text you back. You ever had a guy go dark on you? You know, one minute you're texting and chatting away, you're having a flirty little party on your phone, and the next minute, crickets. And after a few minutes of silence, you feel like responding with, "Yo, dude, are you there?" But you know that sounds desperate, right? So you wait some more, and then there's still nothing. I mean, what the heck? Is this guy in some kind of witness protection program? Well, I'm going to give you some tips for handling that, but first, a couple of rules about texting guys in general. And these are actually critical for your sanity. Texting rule number 1, guys don't think texts are all that important. Now, as a general rule, most guys don't place the same level of emotional importance on a text conversation that a woman does. To a guy, texting is just another electronic back and forth like email. So you got to remember that guys view text like this before you get all caught up in the heat of the moment. Texting rule number 2, guys don't know how important you think the interaction is. And then, of course, because of rule number 1 above, you know that guys don't consider text all that significant, and he's not aware of how significant you think they are. In short, a man doesn't think he's disrespecting you by not replying. He also doesn't see it as ignoring you if he doesn't reply to you, and a man doesn't think he's hurting your feelings if he just disappears. I know, it seems crazy that he doesn't see the world the same way you do, but it's also true in the other direction, isn't it? And a couple of quick don'ts. Don't do this when he stops texting you. Don't freak out. So he didn't reply to you. Don't panic. Chances are he got interrupted when the texting began, and now you're left hanging. It was bad luck of the draw. Just hang in there. Don't do this when he stops texting you. Don't cling to the conversation. If more than 30 minutes goes by, you have to let that conversation go. It's like two ships passing in the night. If you're clinging to that texting session, there's some validation or seeking that you're doing, and he's going to pick up on that. Don't do this when he stops texting you. Don't assume the worst. Don't assume he suddenly lost interest in you in the space of 5 minutes. That's just your insecurity talking. He may not be testing you directly, but he is watching to see how you're going to react to those little pauses. Be cool. All right, so now here's some direct tips. When he won't text you, do this. Make sure you keep your clown. The best way to handle any potentially awkward social romantic situation like this is to keep your sense of humor. And even better, use it on him. So when a guy drops the texting ball in your conversation, just send him a little teasing text like this. "Oh no, he's gone dark, Captain. Should I send in a rescue team?" Just be playful with him and do your best to communicate that you don't really care if you do hear back from him. And yeah, that's even if you do care. People are not attracted to people who need us a little too much. When he won't text you, do this. Assume he's just distracted. Look, honey, it's not personal. Even when it's personal, it's not really personal. Until a man knows you for at least a couple of months, there's no way he can possibly reject you because he doesn't know enough about you to make that personal. Remember that. It's critical for your sanity. When he won't text you, do this. Pull the plug first. When you sense that the energy is winding down in your interaction, you should be the one to pull away first, and I encourage you to do it. As the demure, valuable woman you are, do just that. You do it in 2 simple ways. Tell him you gotta go, or just go. Just send him a quick text. "Hey, gotta run. Talk to you later." Simple, right? And no matter what he texts you back in return, just put your phone away and ignore him for about 15 to 30 minutes. And yeah, it is possible to ignore your phone. When he won't text you, do this. Remember your stock price. Before you get caught up in getting focused on something you think might be, well, you might be losing, remember what it feels like to be the prize. Too often we get caught up in thinking of ourselves as inadequate, and we start the negative dialogue in our head, all because we start doubting. And all it takes to start doubting is to have him not reply to you once. That's it. So make sure you keep reminding yourself of your value in the dating marketplace. All right, when he won't text you, do this. Wait 48 hours. I have a general rule of waiting 2 days before you reach out to a guy who may have dropped the ball or seems to have disappeared in your texting conversation. Number 1, you do this because it shows that you're not the kind of woman that's going to freak out and drown him in needy follow-up texts. And number 2, it gives him a time to breathe and time to miss you. And while you're waiting to reconnect with him, reread your last text. You'd be amazed. Whatever you sent probably didn't require a response. So why are you expecting it? And remember this about a man's interest. It doesn't disappear all that quickly. Just because he doesn't text you back right away, it doesn't mean he's lost his interest. It actually takes a little while, and there's a lot of confusion about this out there with a lot of the women that I've coached. Keep in mind that when you've had that experience of a guy just growing cold and distant on you when you thought things were going well, it can make you panic a little bit. Now, there's a reason that men grow cold and distant, and it's connected to how men choose which women they devote themselves to. And if you want to learn more about that, just make sure you click, well, links are going to appear everywhere here. You're going to see all sorts of stuff to click, but just click it and go to look at other videos on this channel. Number one, what do you got to do? You got to make sure you like this video. Number two, subscribe so you can keep getting them every week. And number three, leave me your polite comments and questions below. Again, just click the link you see below this video to get more great stuff from me, and I'll be talking again soon. This is Carlos Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com. As always, live and love with passion.